Good morning, GM.
Morning.
Happy
Hey
Friday.
guys, good morning, happy Friday. Are we live? Yes, right?
Yes, we are.
We are
So
live.
compulsive like and subscribe, guys. Before I'm being called out to say it. Um, let's see who's coming in. Who's over there in our trusted Discord? We have mixed bag of nuts, which always makes me laugh. His name is Jeff Sailor. Our very own Vulcan is memeing already, so that's awesome. Smoothie, relax. Welcome, guys. Uh, Time Machine. Hey, everybody. Let's see. I see Vulcan is designing stuff in Discord. That's always appreciated by game designers. O Town. Welcome, O Town. Oh, where the AMA? Where link? Have we not
It's
shared the
right in
link
the
already?
announcements.
It's in the announcement. Let's put it in there anyways, so people can check it out. Let's see. There we are. Thanks to Veer. Let's give it a minute as people come in. So how you guys been here in the team? How are you, Farmer Mitchell?
Oh, good. Very good.
What about
We
our
did
very
have
own
that
Linda?
hurricane this week, but it wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that. Like there's hurricanes in the U.S. and tornadoes, and I've never seen any of those things. So I would probably just shit myself. Maybe I shouldn't say that word out loud, but that's okay.
It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, like as a kid, I watched the film Twister, and I was terrified by tornadoes, but I've never seen one, so maybe it's not that
They
bad.
were scary movies. I wouldn't want to get caught in a tornado.
Yeah. Okay, so I think people are coming in. Let's talk about art, says Time Machine. Let's do it. I mean, as soon as we have a stage here. But I think we should get started now, so let's get on to it. Let's see. So, welcome, guys, to the September 1st AMA. We've been doing this weekly AMA since July last year. Uh, we need to know what's going on with the team, with the community, with the game. Have a leak or two. Information on new features that are coming out, competitions, and so on. So, yeah, welcome, guys, and of course, like and subscribe. So, let's get on to headlines, right?
Yeah, I think the first thing we're going to talk about here is the Oopsie statue NFT.
Right. So that thing, the Oopsie statue, was has been delivered. You should have it in your inventory. I know I had it in mind, and it's a pretty cool thing. We're just making a little bit of fun of the problems that we had with fast forward the first time around. Someone mentioned it was similar to the buggy water boat. Water boat, I think it's called. Is that correct, Michelle?
Yeah, from the May Mayhem 2021. Yeah, that was 2021.
Yeah. So anyway, it's gonna look great in game. You'll have that in game after the release today. So after the competition ends, we usually take an hour or a few more depending on some bugs, and we release a new thing, and you'll be able to see your Oopsie crate there, which is I think it's pretty cool. Um, and yeah. So what's next? Let's see.
Next is my weekly reminder for everybody who has not yet burnt their town over into Gala that they've got, about 2 weeks left if you haven't done it yet. So get it done. Let your friends know. Spread the word. Don't let anyone get left behind. If you don't know how to do it, let me know. I will walk you through it. Let's move on to social media. Ninja Surprise, we got anything going on over there?
Yes, we do. So you guys did a really great job for all of you that participated in the Zealy. And we're going to be sending out some rewards to the top 25 people that placed within the Zealy leaderboard. So we extended it a bit. I definitely saw that I wanted to reward some more people that have been working really hard, and there's been a lot of good content. And I definitely feel like top 25 was a pretty good point to it's not too easy, it's not too hard for people to kind of break into. Obviously, we're still experimenting, we're still adjusting everything. So this month's reward NFT is going to be the Rose and Lily NFT. So we're going to be sending one of those to each of the 25 that ranked. And once again, great job. I also just wanted to let you guys know that if you haven't done it already, I think Farmer Michelle made an announcement about it last night. But if you can, please send us your display name that you use in Townstar. I actually created a Zealy quest where you can submit your Townstar display name to us, because due to Discord changing their username and the username system and all this other stuff, it's been kind of difficult to track down those that are supposed to be receiving rewards. So if you guys can, please send us your Townstar display name. There's a quest for it up on Zealy. I'll be linking it to you guys in the Discord in a moment. Other than that, yeah, I just decided that I wanted to experiment a little bit on another platform. Twitter X, as they call it right now, has been great. Instagram has been awesome. But I wanted to grow a little bit more now on TikTok. So we just started publishing some short videos, some short TikTok videos. The content's going to be a little bit different than what you typically see on Twitter, and then also on Instagram as well. So if you guys want to follow, give us a follow, show us some love on there. Check out some of the content that we're going to be publishing there. There's going to be a lot of dancing, as I've been having a lot of fun with the 3D models for Townstar. But yeah, be sure to give that be sure to give that a follow and check us out on TikTok. But yeah, other than that, that's it.
Hey, so that's
Awesome.
pretty
Thanks.
awesome, right? So people can go to our silly board and do some quests and get some XP and potentially get some rewards, right? Like that's
Yep.
a
Yeah, it's the
how
same
that
thing.
works?
I mean, sometimes I try to make like little tasks that, if we need something, that helps us out to make, to help get some insight into what our community's thinking, or just need something completed. I like to turn it into a quest. Make it fun, give people a little chance to earn some sort of reward from the Zealy, but also just to help get our community active and really just kind of show their love for Townstar.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm reiterating because there's some questions in this. We're like, oh, why are we talking about silly? It's because we have some awesome things going on there, guys. Please check it out if you can. Some users submitting great content, and there's a couple rewards too. So check it out.
Awesome. I think the next thing on our agenda here is to start talking about Halloween. I know it's only September 1st, but let's talk about Halloween.
It's September 1st, but this is how games work. I've been working on games for a long time, and if you don't get things started way, like months in advance, then you're not gonna make the deadline. So we know, guys, that you've had a couple of years. We have the Haunted Mansion, and then we have the Haunted Maze, and we want to step that up, right? So we were discussing with the team what would be like a scary thing. That it's also cool to see and place in the board, apart from the utility that we'll give, of course, which we'll discuss later on. And I think that we're just, coming to the conclusion that probably clowns are pretty scary. What do you guys think? Farmer Mitchell?
I think clowns are pretty scary. Only the creepy clowns, though. Regular clowns are not scary. There are definitely
No?
certain clowns that are scary.
I think all clowns are pretty scary, but maybe that's just me and my, childhood trauma. But yeah, like we're thinking about things about potentially related to clowns and stuff like that. I don't want to say more, but I think it'll look amazing in your board once it's there. So it's been really fun discussing ideas, looking for references, like imagining the things in the board, how they interact with each other and so on. So I think that's pretty cool. So doing a lot of work for planning for future content for you guys to make it really beautiful and also strategic. So yeah, ideating around Halloween, pretty fun.
If you all have any ideas out there for what you want to craft for Halloween or what you might want to see for Halloween, let us know. Send us some ideas. We've always got the Town Star Ideas channel.
Yeah, guys. Like, remember, always, every time you have ideas, let us know. I see a bunch of ideas in Discord. Clown, Hunk Farmer. There are a couple of other mentions there and memes. I hate clowns, but I also think they're really cool for Halloween. So you'll get a better idea as we get closer. So thank you guys. Also, if you wanna let us know what you guys like.
Halloween jam. What would be Halloween jam? I don't know if I'd eat pumpkin jam spread. It might be a thing.
Is that a thing?
I don't know, honestly. Someone said Halloween jam in the chat, so I don't think I'd eat like peanut butter and pumpkin jam. I don't know, it doesn't sound all that appetizing to me.
Yeah, I'm not very used to pumpkin everything. I know that you guys in the US really like your pumpkin in October. So that's new to me. I'll have to experience it someday.
Pumpkin spice. That's what's crazy here.
Yeah, pumpkin spice
It
and
tastes
everything.
disgusting. I hate pumpkin spice, but I don't know why it's so good. I like why people like it here so much.
Everything soon will be pumpkin spice in the United States. Soaps, air fresheners, everybody's cars will smell like pumpkin spice. All the coffee will be pumpkin spice. You won't be able to get anything else.
Okay, so that's awesome. I see a lot of ideas there in Discord about crafts that we can do for Halloween. So yeah, let's see the ideas and see what we can make. But it's gonna be pretty fun, pretty cool. Okay, so what's next?
I've got a little headline that says something about a roadmap.
Yeah, well, before that, I want to mention who is this? Jedi say, can we make Chucky dolls? I'm pretty sure that's a trademark. We can't infringe it, but we can definitely do something creepy with dolls. You know, that's all things that we consider, which is the fun part about making games. Let's see. So games roadmap, yeah. So apart from ideation for Halloween and potentially Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all those things, that is always cool to do. The whole team met yesterday, right? So we were discussing new features, especially things to attract new players. We have a couple in the pipeline, as we mentioned, for a couple of weeks already. But we want to see how we can simplify the game, how we can make it more fun, potentially bring it to mobile, which is always the aim, right? So that was a pretty interesting meeting. Lots of ideas, lots of fun going on about I would like to see this thing in the game and that thing. So yeah, we're gonna start grabbing that information, deciding what looks better, and working on a roadmap for you guys. So our idea right now is, um, apart from the information about tokenomics and all that, like put everything together with notes and features, and present a roadmap for you guys, so you can see it, either an image that we're gonna share, website or whatever, and you guys see, okay, this is what the Townstar team is working on, and that looks cool. Expected timelines, so that whole thing that is very common in this space. We want to be able to share that with you guys because we have tons of ideas, and I think we're making the game cooler every day by fixing stuff and adding the little features and quality of life improvements. But there's definitely greater ideas that we want to share, and hopefully you guys will be as interested in that as we are, as excited. So expect a roadmap soon. We're hard at work at it. That's the update on roadmap. What's coming up next?
Art is next on my list, but I don't think Sage is here. I see a lot of people asking
No,
about
I'm
the
here.
white paper. Oh,
I'm
hey!
here.
I didn't even know you were here.
I slipped in at the last minute here. Give me another 2 minutes because I'm trying to organize this up so that our video guy can show these in the right order. So 30 seconds a minute, and I'll share up my stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, I see a lot of people asking about the light paper. I don't think that we have any updates on the light paper this week. I know we said last week that we might, but I think it's still in internal review, so there's not a lot we can say yet. We were expecting it to be ready this week, but I don't think it made it yet.
Actually, we can talk about an outline of it. That's what we promised. We have some stuff to share. But let me do this art stuff so we don't delay on that. I just need to rename a couple more files and send them to our video guy.
Fulcrum, can you do elevator music in the meantime?
Oh man, I'd love
no
to.
pressure, no pressure. Oh gosh.
My
I'll make it.
beatboxing skills are very subpar, so I'm not gonna try.
Oh, okay, I'll have to do it, I guess.
We got a good load of things to share up here, but I just I'm trying to make it easy so that we can get them in the right order and everybody can see them as they pop out onto the screen there. All right, one more file. And
Voltron did ask me to start practicing my Townstar sound effects noises, so I suppose I could throw
Yeah,
some of
please
those
do.
in there. I might be able to make a cow noise. I don't know if I could make a bakery noise or anything. I'm not really sure what kind of noises bakeries make.
There's some of the tanks from StarCraft.
all right. So to our invisible audio and video guy, the files are in the folder for you to start sharing. So I'm going to start dropping some of these into Discord right now. Awesome. Go ahead and share that up there.
Let's see it.
All right. Just on this one, just so you guys can see what's showing up there. Really, really simple. One of the things that we're having to do, and we've talked about it, is the characters, and just continuing to work on those and get them, for lack of better terms, to be viewable in the game at the right size in the game. So go ahead. You can go ahead and pop up the other images there as you go. Just drop them in there. Okay, Spooky Miller, boy, this guy was, and you're going to see this later in a screenshot that I share of everything. That spider on his chest is really cool, but when you try to show it in game, it looks like a little tiny blob there. Okay, this one, Rare Pottery Shop. Interesting note here, when you look at it, hey, that's pretty cool, it's updated, but go ahead and hit the next image there. And you can see one of the things the teams is doing is trying to actually give some color signals so that everybody can see that there are differences at a glance. One of the things I'm a big fan of is just being able to glance at your board and see what's happening. And I think that comes from lack of better terms, old RTS days there. Right now, I'm going to start dropping. Oh, cotton storage is interesting, right? You see this image and you see the work that goes on behind the scenes. This is some artist notes there about let's go ahead and upgrade this, get everything to kind of have that same format, colors and whatnot according to its level. Go ahead and pop the next image on that one, right? Because now you could look at the difference where all these small changes really takes us to the next level and just makes it feel a little bit better. I was actually looking at those boxes on the side of the original building, and it reminded me of this kind of sushi that I had in Japan, which was at a sushi bar, and they brought out, it was just rice, and then there was this scrambled egg, or this sort of formed egg on top of it, and you go, hey, that's pretty easy to eat. But the thing that threw me off was it had sugar on top of it. It was just this bizarre combination of sensations of, wait, this is rice with sugar, and this is rice and egg with sugar. So now let's go ahead and pop up, for lack of better terms, the next one, which is like the menagerie. And you can see in there is some of those characters at the sizes that they're at. Like, man, it's so hard to try to see their faces and the details. And man, there's just, it's just tiny. So one of the things we've all talked about is performance and the desire to not, take all the good extra increase in performance that we got by going to Godot, not take it for granted, and continue to focus on optimizing the art. And so one of the things I say is let's not use triangles, let's not use textures for things we can't actually see when we look at the game on the screen. And so characters are the big tell on that. And the Miller guy with the spider on his chest just looked like a black blob at the size, right? So anyways, that's the art update. Things are continuing on, accelerating a little bit. Oh, the last one you can see, kind of the resized wizard towers there. on the workshop, just trying to make sure we get that down a little bit in size, give you more visual space on the game board.
Yeah, that wizard tower was always pretty big. That'd be nice
Yeah.
to see it smaller.
So there's the update on the art.
That looks pretty good. I think that we have we mentioned a couple last week. I think that we'll start putting the art in the game. That's a little bit late because we need to check that everything looks good with the rest of the game. But we're reviewing that pretty soon too, guys. So expect that to start trickling into the game soon. So thank you, Sage. That looks amazing. I love the changes, the simplification, and I think that it's also more. What's the word that we're using? It has less polygons, less triangles. So it's gonna be less taxing on the game. So that's good.
Everything we do to that point, usually we get a new model in, and we always review the number of tries in the new and the old, and that in itself typically points out where we maybe haven't optimized as much as we should have. Maybe there's a tiny little thing that no one really sees at game scale that we either eliminate or we turn into a texture instead of creating out of a set of geos.
Awesome. That's gonna be really important when we move the game to mobile. Better performance.
Wait, move the game to mobile?
Yeah, we've been discussing that for a long time, right?
I know we have. I know.
Let's see. So that's your result. Sage, since we have you here, do you want to do your tokenomics outline right away?
Yeah, let's talk about this, guys. So
wait, before you do, just clearing up for everyone in Discord and listening. We are gonna talk about tokenomics outline, guys. So please pay attention because every time we talk about something, then you come back and keep asking about the same thing we discussed. So this is it. Sage, please take it away.
Yeah, sure. And great point, because I know we're still going to get when, and tell me more about it. So top level note, and I'm going to start with macro and go down through the details. And Musashi, you're in the meetings too, so tell me if I've forgotten anything. First step is, as we talked a lot in the past, I'm really deeply involved with this, pulling Bitbender into it, Que Sera Sera, all the different people across the company to make sure that we take our model a step forward. And we talked about taking a lot of learnings from spider tanks and what's going on there. And some people are like, yay, and other people are like, God, no. But you can rest assured that we're looking at every little bit of it. So we will have an emissions curve. The way that curve is going to be set up is everybody knows it has to be mathematical. One of the things I just asked the team is, does it have to be that same standard, rapidly rising asymptotic curve that everybody uses, or can we do something that makes a little more sense as we're starting to grow the game? So that you can count on that. So we'll have an emissions curve. Then the question comes down to is, how are we going to allocate that emissions curve? And boy, that's where the details. That's where if you don't do your math right and you don't have the game set up right, you can get massive inflation, or the opposite, where people just goes, look, there's no rewards to have from playing this game. And so that's honestly where most of my time has been spent to, dig out the details. I'm asking for no hand waving, tell me the details, go at least one level deeper, both with design and the tokenomics plan, the economics team. So quickly, running down the top, of course, there's going to be competition rewards. And the goal that we're having on that is to try to spread the rewards out so there's enough at the top of the reward leaderboard where it's really interesting, exciting, but also for everybody, that as many people as we can get to reasonably participate in that. And so the current idea is somewhere between spreading that out somewhere between 2/3 and 75% players participating in competitions. We get something. Now that may change. I'm just letting you guys know that's the current thinking. So there's competition rewards, and you guys know what competitions are like. There's going to be the current ones we have plus some new ones, and there's always talk about zero NFT competition as well. So we're looking at that. Next step down, this is a new and interesting one. Well, maybe new. The idea of retention rewards, or streaks, if you will. So come and play the game.
And then the more number of days you play it in a row, you get some rewards from that. And you might say, well, wait a minute, that means people who just show up without NFTs and actually play and enjoy the game get rewards? Absolutely. Absolutely. Next step is we know earning NFTs. It's a big issue from the past, and everybody's like, my God, when is earnings coming back? Well, they're going to come back. We're going to allocate a proportion of the daily emissions for people who have and play their NFTs on a daily basis. And so that's, you're like, wait, that sounds just like everything else. Yeah, that's true. It's really, the details are in how do we allocate the percentages of the daily emissions, and how do we spread that daily emissions out to the right number of players. I'm not going to say the maximum number of players, but the maximum number of right players. And we still got to tweak those numbers. The other piece to this, of course, there's node emissions as well, or sort of node distributions as well, for both town nodes and founders nodes. And so, okay, great. And that's where it sounds like, yeah, we've heard this kind of outlined before. But the thing that we're doing differently now, and we didn't even do before in the previous light paper, is to look at the sinks for the rewards that we give out. Because you guys know what happens when we give out, when any kind of model that has, let's just call it uncontrolled emissions, or emissions that are controlled, comes out at a schedule. If those rewards are not able to be spent or used or otherwise, put back into the ecosystem, they just pile up and it causes inflation on your currencies, right? So we've been digging deep into that idea, and the people who've out there given advice on our tokenomics know this, looking deep into the different types of sinks, right? And you guys have heard about some of this already, and now you can kind of see how the dots are connecting behind the scenes, where we have, upgradable NFTs. You have buffs in gameplay. And I know Masashi and team have a couple of other things that in their minds to add to the game, so that when you get the reward token, you can actually go ahead and make use of it, have a better game experience, have more fun playing the game. So that's the outline. Musashi, did I miss anything?
Let's see. So we have competitions, traditional competitions, and also potentially no NFT competitions. That doesn't mean that there's. We'll get into details later, but yeah, that's something that we're gonna say. Then we have allocations for coming and play the game meaningfully. I'm just doing a quick recap, right? There's also allocations for earning NFT owners, for node owners, and for founders node owners, correct?
Oh, sorry again, I glitched there. You got cut out. What was that?
So the allocations are for playing the game meaningfully, so every player can get something. We have an allocation for earning NFTs, for downscard nodes, for founders nodes, right? And potentially there's a big chunk that goes into the competition, potentially giving something, we're going to tell you what later, to around 75% of competing players. And also there's a little bit more for people who do well in competitions in daily emissions. Is that correct? I think we're good with those high level comments.
Yeah, that's there. I'm sort of just looking back at people's notes and looking at earning NFTs. Okay, yes, they will, right? What else? It's going to be a different tokeners. It's only Gala. We're not talking about that right now. Jetty. I don't know how to say your name. Jetty or Getty. Anyways, town points for converting into Gala. That's the original. That's the published plan right there, Dubstep. We may change it. That's one of the things I'm actually talking to the team about. Don't want to go into details because I know as soon as I even mention the current thinking, people are going to run wild and go crazy on it. Let's just say we're working hard to make sure that we're good stewards of the game. What about town nodes? That's a different topic.
That's something that we've been talking about for weeks, right? So we've always said for weeks that we're working on the first implementation of that, which we'll touch on a little bit. But of course, townsite nodes will be rewarded, right? And we just mentioned it here in this outline. They will get an allocation for providing services to the game. and that's really
Yeah.
important to us because we really want to start putting more things in the nodes if possible. Things like fast forward and things like that. So if your Townstar node is running, expect it to get some rewards.
And did we talk last week about what the thinking is in terms
Oh
of
yeah,
nodes?
that's what I mean. Like we've discussed it for weeks, and players already know what the first implementation will be, which is in the works.
Got it.
It's going along nicely. So we're trying to in this roadmap that we're working on, guys, to share with you as soon as possible. That's also included, right? What's the roadmap for Townstar nodes? What are they going to do? What functionality will they provide? Those things
Yeah.
are all going to be there.
Okay.
So yeah, and remember we discussed that this week we talk about an outline, which is what we just did. We never promised a live paper. That's coming as soon as we can put it to paper and approved by legal.
Yeah, actually, let's talk about that for a second. So we have the high level concept, and what we're not showing you is the, I don't know, the dozen models we went through in the last week. Queso Rasura keeps putting together new Google Sheets. We go over them. I kind of toss it upside down and say, I'd like something that looks like this, so we can really understand it, to communicate it as simply to our players as possible. And once we kind of lock in on that, so we know the structure now, we're kind of locking in on the details. We expect to do another round today. And once we have it all together, then we got to write the paper. And that's where, we're going to rely on Bitbender to do his magic, craft that up. He's such a great writer. And once that's together, we'll all review it and then have our legal team look at it. And at that point, we'll share it out to Gold first. That's one of the things. Get some input, get some ideas on that, and then share it out more publicly. So our goal is as soon as possible. And I know people are like, wait, today, tomorrow, when? Guys, I want to get this right. A little extra time, I think, is okay. I know people are waiting and have been very patient, so we appreciate that. We really do.
Okay, so that's the outline. You guys know already, given this outline, what will be rewarded. We'll get more information soon. Thank you, Sage. Thank you for the hard work. I know that you've been involved in these conversations heavily, so I really appreciate that. So let's go to game updates, right, Farmer Michelle?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so what happened this week? Your sound is kind of weird, Farmer Michelle. I don't know what's going on.
She's in a windstorm, I think. Are you in that tornado windstorm going through there?
No, it went through the other day. It's gone now, but I've been having some weird computer problems for a couple of days. I'm trying to work through it.
No, I see. Okay, so this week, what fixes did we get into the game? There was an issue where the town stops on refresh, where no units are active, buildings can be placed, and labor cost UI is missing. That should be fixed after one of the releases this week. We had an issue with banners. When the 3 banner routers placed in the town, the banner house still provided 1 shade to surrounding buildings. That was fixed. A bunch of localization fixes went in. We released a bunch of internal fixes that, of course, you may not notice, but we're adding more analytic calls to make sure that we're understanding how people are playing better, and we can redirect our efforts. So that's really important, and a bunch of other internal things, stability and things like that. Then for data, we didn't push anything particular because you guys know that we had to move our competition 1 week. So in the release today, expect a bunch of new things, new NFTs. The Oopsie crate will be available after the release. So yeah, a bunch of fixes, but mostly around banners and other things that were included in the game, some stability and analytics. So those are the game updates this week. But what's coming up next for the game? So as I mentioned before, the Oopsie NFT will be available later today. You guys should already have it in your inventory. I know I do. And then the new competition will be available. So test competition will run. This is a new standard, right? So every week for the competition, we'll have a test competition running Saturday to Monday. And then the proper competition will start on Tuesday and will run until Friday. The casual mode will also have the same biome and super tiles. So you should be able to practice both in casual mode, um, and in the test competition that we have available throughout the weekend. So that's pretty cool. There's also some other NFTs and like blueprints that will be added, but you'll get the full update and the changelog later today. But then what about features, right? So you guys know that we're working on that roadmap, but the things that you already know that we're working on are FTUE, right? So we mentioned that last week and last week. We still have around 1 week remaining to have that in the game. So all players, veteran players won't see it, but new players will start getting FTUE tests, right? So we'll check the analytics, we'll see how they respond to that. We want to see if they're engaging, if they're understanding the game better, maybe staying longer because they understand the game. The game is very cryptic right now. So FTUE is super important to us to start growing the audience soon enough. So around one more week for the FTUE to be available. That's tutorial in other terms. Then Gala Chain. So I've been hearing about when Gala Chain, what's the plan for that? Also, we've been discussing that for 2 or 3 weeks. So there's still 3 to 4 weeks remaining for work regarding Gala Chain. It's pretty interesting. We're discussing a lot with our lovely chain team and getting a lot of things done. So we're expecting to be able to see all of NFTs in Gala Chain and in ETH pretty soon. You know that when we do, we want to start creating minting our own NFTs in Gala Chain. So we'll let you know when that's done. Then nodes. So we were talking about nodes before, right? Regarding the tokenomics plan. We want these things to earn something, right? Because that's the plan, but also for them to provide services to the game, to the players, right? That's the whole point. Eventually, maybe even run the game in the nodes, which will be an amazing, decentralized experiment, right? Running the game in all nodes. But the first actual implementation that we're doing is IPFS. So for those who don't know, IPFS is interplanetary file system. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Vulcan. But it's a way to serve files, right? So the game right now is reading some files from the ether, from the internet, things like some images or some data, started towns and stuff like that. And our plan is say, well, we'll have Townstar nodes provide IPFS services, be part of IPFS, and we can put those files in there and try to grab them from there first, right? So that's a service that the Townstar nodes will be providing the players. Hopefully, in the future, thousands and thousands of players. We have between 1 and 2 weeks remaining for that to be out there. You may have seen something this week when we accidentally released something that showed images in the leaderboard. So that's kind of related to that. So that's coming soon enough. And then we have two quality of life improvements in progress that I want to mention. We have more, but these are important because were discussed last week. I want to have a trade timer info. So when the track is leaving, right now you don't know when it's coming back, how long it's going to be out. So we want information in there to make it more clear to players. Hey, it's like 30 more seconds, it'll be back. And the second quality of life improvement I want in the game is nuking towns from outside towns, right? So right now, if you want to nuke a town, you need to go to settings, then abandon town. But sometimes it's faster if you just nuke it from the main menu or from the competition screen. So I'm putting that into the pipeline, especially for some situations in which fast forward just takes too long. You can just nuke your town instead of waiting for it to end. So those are the things that are coming soon to the game. That's outside the roadmap that we're talking about, that we're discussing, where we have some pretty cool things in the works. As you have heard before, one thing is upgradable NFTs that ties very heavily into the tokenomics plan. So that's one thing that is not mentioned here, but it's in our future roadmap that you'll get very soon. So those are the updates. Are there questions, guys? Do you see any questions in Discord? Michelle, are you there? Or are you in the middle of a
I'm
tornado?
here. Sorry, I was typing up a summary of what you said. so everybody
Okay.
can see it in text. I see people like to see things in text sometimes. I don't see any questions right here where I am. Someone asked when persistent mode. I mean, the casual town is already a persistent mode. You only need to nuke it if you want to, so that's persistent already. Here.
Oh man, like that. You have a lot of noise.
Poor
Sorry.
Michelle.
I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I'll work on it this weekend. We'll get it fixed.
It's okay. Let me check our summary. So now we'll move into Q&A, right? Let's see. We have a question. Can we have a small lumber storage as there is only legendary? So I asked around what this meant. Like, what are you guys talking about? And yes, we have a legendary lumber storage. And there are some questions from players regarding, can we have a small lumber storage? Is this something you guys want in game? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the forum. I want to hear you. So we have definitely discussed new NFTs just like this. If you're interested in a smaller lumber storage, that's definitely something that we can do. Speaking of, if there are only any other NFTs that you may want to see in the game, you can use two ways to let us know. One is Townstar Ideas channel in Discord. You can just go there and say, "Hey, I have an idea for a feature NFT or any other thing," right? So that's one way to reach us. But then you know that our very own Ninja Surprise was discussing Sealy, right? So regarding Sealy, you can go there, and there's a quest called Think Tank. And if you share your ideas there, Ninja Surprise will vet them. We'll look at it, like make sure that it's actually an idea and not just gibberish. And you'll get some XP for it. And you know that XP eventually can transform into rewards in Sealy. So two ways to share your ideas, like for example, the small lumber storage idea. One is Townstar Ideas channel in Discord, and the other one is the Think Tank quest in the Townstar Sealy board. So yeah, let us know what you guys want. Very important for us. Let's see. Second question is when play to earn are we going to be able to have casual and comp servers open at the same time? That is actually not possible at all. So we've talked about this a couple times, but the game is supposed to be played in one instance at a time, right? So I know that at some point, maybe in the previous game, people were able to open the game multiple times with the same account, and there was a lot of cheating going on, like a ton of cheating going on with people opening the game multiple times. So right now we have a system where if you, let's say that you have your computer open and you have the game running, and then you open up your phone and you go to the game with the same account. If you log in and get into your town, that will log out your computer, right? So basically leaves the latest instance open and then closes the rest. But that's why we have fast forward, right? So fast forward is working. It's working really well. It's a little slow, and we still need to work on that, but it's working perfectly. So the idea is you can go into your competition town, do some changes, maybe set something to be built, change some crafts or whatever you want to do, and then you return to the main menu, and you can go into casual mode or maybe into another open competition and so on, right? So the idea is to be in the game a single time, right? Which is a very basic thing in most games, especially mobile games. So yeah, that's how you can do you can do that. So next question is ETA for Geary integration. So two comments here. One is Geary is no longer the name. The official name is Gala Chain. So Gala Chain, it's pretty cool, and as I just mentioned, is around I think 3 to 4 weeks away, or 4 to 5. I'm not sure. I'll need to go check in my notes, but it's being actively worked on. So we are actively working on moving the game to Gala Chain. Remember, Gala Chain, not Geary. I think there's a last question. Let's see. Okay, so last question is, are bugs coming to town? We were told that they were going to be able to be stacked. to get more earning boost, how that will work out. Yes, like we're working right now on being able to support them, right? So this is something that you may not care too much about, but basically, in the old game, the box assets, the 3D assets that you could put in the board, they were not in our game. They are not in our servers. They are not in our data. They are somewhere else, right? So we needed to grab them from the ether of the internet and then put them in the game. So the new game is the same. Uh, we can't have all of those box assets in. So we're working on reading them remotely, putting them in the game, and that's moving along nicely. So Box is actively being worked on too, as part of Gala Chain work and as part of the future daily rewards and tokenomics model. So Box will be available in the game once that's out. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that they will have town points. So we've discussed this before, but town points we did a revamping or modification of the town points for Box on January, if I'm not mistaken, and those numbers will not change, right? So whatever is the town points that we're using before, they will have once we have the new tokenomics model out. And I see that Farmer Michelle is sharing the data that we share on January regarding Box. So that's still valid, guys. That's exactly what we're working on. Box will be in the game once we have earnings on. I hear some noise. I don't know who's unmuted there. Oh, I think it's Sage. Hey, Sage.
Yeah, I was just playing with you guys. Yes, Fox in the game.
Yeah, Box in the game, guys. We can't not have Box in the game. So that's something that I'm saying, declaring right now. Box will be in the game. We are working on making that happen. So don't worry about that. Okay. Is there any information on live Q&A? Do we have any extra questions that we've noted down, Mr. Bolton?
No, you got it.
Okay. So in that case, let's see what do we have next, Farmer Michelle? Are you back with us? Out from the tornado?
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me well, but I'm definitely here. I think that we're moving on to sale information.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on your way to the land of Oz. Maybe that's just me. I'm not sure. Sale information. Yes. Okay. So as you guys know, 2 weeks ago we released the Planner family. We had a couple packs. They were really successful. So thank you everybody for buying those packs. We had some issues with them, but they have been fixed. And as last week, we're having no new NFTs next week, right? But we'll make available the last 2 out of the 6 Banner families, Banner family members that were not available for purchase individually yet. So those guys are Goldie. This is supply of 130 at $110, and Cooper. Again, supply of 130 and $80 is the price of that one. So again, thank you guys for buying the packs. Those sold out almost immediately. That's pretty awesome. Now you can buy them individually if you'd like. So those will be available later today, along with the other Panel family members that are already in the store. So no new items, just the same items, just available individually.
So Todd just showed up and asked if we could restart the AMA.
What?
Yeah.
One gent?
Yes. I think we're gonna have to just keep going though. But there was a mention of pizza.
I mean, it's like you can't say Todd and not say pizza in the same sentence, right?
It's true.
So, Dorothy, sorry, Michelle, what's the next topic?
We're moving on to leaks. I don't know if everybody can understand me. Can everybody hear me clearly?
I can hear you. It's a little fussy, but you can probably do your update here if you like.
I'm gonna do it then. So this week we did golden heart necklaces. Did everybody like the golden heart necklaces? I hope so. This week the reward was the hasty foundry. It was for foundry worker walking speed. Let's see, next week we're gonna be doing jewelry sets. So there's gonna be some changes to both earrings and bracelets. So chandelier earrings are now going to be 4 copper rings, 2 silver rings, and 2 silver wires. And bracelets are going to be changing down to 6 copper rings, 3 silver rings, and a lobster clasp. And that jewelry set is going to include 1 wooden box, 1 bracelet, 2 earrings, and a golden heart necklace. It's going to be made in the boxing facility. It's a jewelry set. Hope you're all excited. I know everybody loves when they get to break out their boxing facility and put things in boxes. It's everybody's favorite thing to do.
Okay, so I'm sharing the information there. There's we have a new format to show. Do we have that image for the town setup?
Yes. Let me get this here.
So while Farmer Michelle is looking for that, so as you know, the golden heart necklace, we had the idea of we're introducing new crafts in new lines of the jewelry, but the idea is to give utility to older NFTs and older lines, and that's why we introduced both the pottery shop, the rare pottery, and strawberries into the equation. So how do we make heart shapes? Or use strawberries, you create a print, and that way you can fill it with gold, silver, or whatnot, and generate the new things, right? So that's a plan for the future too. Every time we introduce something new, we're hoping to mix it up with something that has already been in the game. So that's why we're doing boxes in the boxing facility, mixed with the jewelry metas that we've done before. So anything related to boxing will be useful here. Very useful. Let's see. Did you share the biome information?
Yeah, there it is. So that's what it's going to look like. It does have an oil seep in there. You can see it. That should be helpful for anybody who doesn't know exactly what it's going to look like when we say things like Forest East. Now you know. That's what it looks like. There's everything. It's a desert, not a forest, even though I just said forest. That was just an example. That's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
So that's exactly right. Did you share the information on trade times and gas?
Trade time this week, we set it at, I think, 40 seconds. 40 seconds and 2 gas. So regular trade depots will be 2 gas, regular trade piers and freight piers will be 2 gas, but your express depots, your express piers, and your dragon will still be 0 gas, but the other 2 will both be 1 gas because they're half gas, and those will be 20 seconds because they're half trade time.
Okay. So so express depots will be half the time and half the gas, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So so I know that we're sharing that image there, guys. That kind of gives an idea of how it looks. We didn't want to share just a snapshot of the town because I think this is more clear. But let us know. Like, what do you guys think? Do you want just a snapshot of the town from our testing servers, or you prefer this format, which is like top down? What do you guys think? We
Yeah,
can,
definitely let us know.
yeah, because we keep sharing the information every week, but it's clear that an image is worth 1,000 words, right? As they say.
Definitely.
So let us know what you guys think, how you want this information shared. We're working on more ways to share information more clearly. But yeah, that's the information on the next competition, which will be the jewelry set.
Yeah, I think the only thing I didn't share was copper is going to be cash boosted this week. That's going to be 4,000 for each copper. And the NFT blueprint reward will be the crafty meadows. So that will increase the craft time of your meadows.
So the
As they
meadows
go.
will be faster, right?
Yep.
That'll be nice for my chickens. I usually do chickens and eggs at the beginning of the town. So That's very cool. And maybe that will be important in the next competition, right, Farmer Mitchell?
It might be.
It
It
might
definitely
be.
might be.
So maybe that hasty, what was the name? The
Hasty
hasty meadow?
Boundary from this week. Oh,
No,
for
for jewelry set.
Crafty Meadows.
So maybe the crafty meadow will be important in the next competition, guys. Who knows? Who can tell? So let's see. We have the information on that. So you have everything in Discord. Farmer Michelle will share more order later today. What else do we have remaining?
The gold ore storage for playing in the month of August. That should be all set now. We're gonna try to get that out next week, so it will be out very soon. I wouldn't expect it this weekend, but for sure early next week it should be out.
Definitely.
Sorry that
So
last month took a little bit longer, but
yeah, but that won't happen this month because that gold ore storage is ready to go. We just need to check who played. You know, we run some scripts at the end of the month to determine who gets which retention NFT. So we'll start running those today. So expect that thing in your inventory in a couple of days. I'm hoping. And immediately, as long as we airdrop it, you'll be able to see it in the game. So that's pretty awesome. We're committing to have that every month from now on. So yeah, I think that's our leaks. That's our information. I don't know if anyone on stage wants to say something else. I see a lot of pizza in Discord, so I'm guessing our very own Todd is in there talking about pizza. Um, any last questions, guys? We shared the outline as we promised. We have some more information on nodes, on box. You know what's coming up for the game pretty soon, and some idea of the roadmap ahead. Some leaks. So I think it's been a lot of information today. Are there any last questions? I hope this is sorry Tantrum Jam. I hope the copper and gold colors will be more distinguishable. Maybe make gold a little brighter. If I'm not mistaken, Farmer Michelle, we have artists working on that, right?
yes, we do. I think we ended up settling on making them the same colors that they are now, but having them be in a different amount of them, like a different amount of rings for copper, gold, and silver, and then it being the same bars. So like maybe gold will always be 1 bar, 1 ring. Silver will always be 2 bars and 2 rings, and copper will be 3. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but that's going to make them more. You'll be able to differentiate them better because the icons are really small. They are hard to see the difference.
Right. So just to reiterate, guys, we're hearing your feedback. We see that you guys are having some trouble differentiating some of the new crafts. So we just went to the artists and said, "Hey, can you make this more clear?" And they're working on that. So that will be out as soon as we can put it in game. Any last questions? If not, then
Wait, I see something from LV Postman. He says, "Why didn't you answer AMA questions submitted?" Was that to someone specific? Didn't we go through those?
I'm pretty
Look at
sure we
those all the
did.
time.
What question are we supposedly
Yeah, why didn't you
missing,
just ask the
guys?
question? Just ask that question, LV Postman.
Yeah, just put the question up. I mean, when we do our AMA prep, we open the AMA question form list and copy and paste every single question that gets answered. So
You guys would be surprised at the number of repeat questions that get popped every week, and we're just like, well, we could spend every week saying the same thing over and over. So sometimes we don't actually answer them because we just answered them, right? Asked about pathing. What about pathing? What about pathing?
I don't see that question in our form. Maybe it was delivered after the cutoff time, Michelle?
must have been. Let me form see if I can find it.
Well, but let's see. There's a couple questions here. Make gold more yellow. Yeah, we said we're doing that. So NFT fonts. Make images smaller. So some specific UI considerations. We're talking to a UI guy in the company. to improve some of these things, especially looking forward to mobile. And move useless NFTs to archive or burn. I don't think we can do that from our game, but that's definitely something that we can discuss with the platform team. Um,
Oh,
you mean like
Volkern answered the question about pathing. There you go, LV Postman.
okay?
Volkern has spoken. Yes.
And Volcron is the low. He's the low here. So cool. I think that those are some of the live questions. If that's all right, then we're on time. Thank you guys for coming. Some exciting news regarding tokenomics model. Thank you, Sage, for that. Still reviewing the actual white paper, but looking forward to share with you guys the developments that are we haven't shared yet, right? We have things that are in the planning or already in the works that we haven't shared. So I'm just
We
waiting
also
for.
talked about sharing the roadmap too. That's a pretty big piece of news.
Yeah, definitely. So once we have the light paper, I want to have that out too. So comprehensive package, like what's the economy going to be like? What are the new features that are coming? How that ties together? How are nodes integrated into this longer term? Because you already know that they will earn something, but what services will they provide, or what functionality will they give node owners and the people that they choose? So those things are things that we have, having a lot of fun working on. So yeah, and please check out the competition once it's out. Jory said it's gonna be awesome, and thank you guys for coming. And
Thanks,
before somebody
everybody.
tells me to do it, like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. Great to see everyone.